Brady Wallace. Ninth and playing in left field, number 10, Canton Golson.
Welcome into a little Jim Ned baseball this evening. Your Indians sit at 15-3 overall, 6-1 in district play, and they welcome the Merkel Lady Badgers to Tuscola tonight. 7 o'clock first pitch, just a few moments away. As I said, welcome into the broadcast. Everybody, this is Malone Graham getting to bring you the game tonight. Super thankful to Coach Hutt and Coach Holson for giving me this opportunity. I'm super excited. If you don't know me, I'm a Jim Ned alum, graduated in 2019, went on to Texas Tech, spent a few years there working in sports radio and worked for the Lady Raiders my last year there at Tech, and for the past 2 seasons, been part of the coaching staff for the Abilene Christian women's basketball team in town, and I've been able to reconnect with a lot of the Jim Ned community, and part of that means I get to call a couple of Jim Ned baseball games every season. So super thankful, like I said, to Coach Hutt and Coach Holson, and excited to bring you guys this game tonight. I'm going to dust off a little bit off the mic. It's been a year since I've had a headset on, so I ask for a little bit of patience. Hopefully it won't take me too many innings to kind of get back in the groove of things, but passion of mine, baseball and sports radio, so I get to combine both of those things here and get to bring you some great ball tonight. In the field for the Indians, that's going to be Golson in left. Brooks gets the start at center. Alexander rounds out things in right field. And then Lewis over there at the hot corner next to Colby Clinkscales at shortstop. And then Jake Watson at second base, Reed Holbrook at first, and then the battery tonight for the Indians, that's going to be Tucker Deal on the bump, and then his counterpart behind the plate, number 1, Stoney Cooley. As I mentioned before, your Indians are 15-3 overall, looking for district win number 7 tonight. They took care of the Badgers yesterday with a 9-0 victory, and Coach Estrada has his squad warmed up and ready to go. The first three for Merkel, number 15, Mason Prieto, followed by number 4, Eli Delgado, and then number 12, Easton Malone will be 1, 2, and 3 for Merkel tonight. About 75 degrees here at the field. Not too much wind. A great night for some baseball. I know it's been crazy weather this past week here in the big country, but it's baseball weather tonight. So we're excited to bring you the matchup. And Coach Colin's coming in here, getting us right, getting the game on the stream for you. Home plate umpires going out to talk a few things over with starting pitcher number 15, Tucker Deal. And then we'll get things started. Great crowd for the Indians. Got lots of lawn chairs lining the backstop for both fans in red and fans in purple. And then plenty in the stands behind. It's a packed house driving up for the game. I mean, you could hardly find a parking spot. So that shows you how great the weather is and how big the fan bases are for each of these schools. The right-hander, Deal, steps on the mound, nods in agreement with Cooley. Here comes the first pitch of the evening. Swung on and missed. Prieto a little bit ahead of that one. Next pitch, a little bit of break on it at the end. Ended up just above the zone, though. Brings the count to 1-1. Third pitch swung on and hit. Klinkskills tries to backhand, took a bad hop right at the end and goes just above the glove. Golson comes in to retrieve it. And now Merkel begins the game with the runner on first. Tough play right there for Klinkskills. It would have been close at first had he have been able to get it in his glove, but great effort to at least go and slow down the ball. So Prieto's getting a pretty good lead over there at first, and here comes the first pitch to the righty, Delgado. Shows bunt, gets it down right back to Deal, picks it up and throws it over to Holbrook. A little sacrifice bunt to move the runner. Merkel, as I mentioned, with 0 runs scored last night, so I'm sure their coaching staff is just looking to play to run as soon as possible. So they'll take the out and the extra feet. Easton Malone, the lefty, digs in at the plate. First pitch, little inside fastball for a swing and a miss. Great placement there by Deal. Little in on the hands. Not too big of a lead for Prieto over there at second. Klinkskills tapping his glove behind him, keeping him close. Next pitch well outside. Deal sets. Delivers the 1-1 pitch. Trying to get that outside corner. To no avail, though. That's ball 2. Two-one pitch swung on. It's a shallow fly into left field. Who's going to get it? That's Golson, who calls off Klinkskills wisely and makes the second out of the inning. Not much power behind that swing. So now Jim Ned has 2 outs. The cleanup hitter and also pitcher tonight for the Badgers, Trey Alexander, will take his first at-bat of the night. First pitch swinging. Misses that one. Big rip right there by the 4-hole hitter. Next pitch. A little low for a ball. One swung on and missed. That one even lower, but this time Alexander takes a crack at it. Comes up empty. Let's see if Deal can sit him down. 1-2 the count. 2 outs for Jim Ned. Runner on second for Merkel. Swung on, fouled back. Catches the top part of the netting just behind home plate here. I know those fans are thankful for the netting. Might make it a little bit more difficult for a clear view on the broadcast, but always better to protect the stands. Watson's messing with the runner out there at second, and Deal was looking back at him too, so Alexander decided to call time. He was getting a little bored waiting for the pitch. We'll try the 1-2 now. Ooh, off speed right there from Deal. Swing and a miss. That's a strikeout to retire the Badgers. Merkel records 1 hit, but no runs to show for it. Jim Ned heads to the dugout to grab the sticks. We'll be right back with a little bit more Indian baseball after this.
Between the kids' stuff, being on the road, working at my ranch, I don't always have time to focus on everyday tasks like banking. That's why I rely on the First Financial Bank mobile app. I can pull out my phone anytime, anywhere, and handle my banking business in seconds. And if I need to talk to someone, a friendly, helpful voice is only a phone call away. Take your time back with First Financial Bank's mobile banking. First Financial Bank, member FDIC.
To the bottom of the first we go. Jim Ned brings 1, 2, and 3 at least to the plate. Here in the bottom of the first, starting off with leadoff number 1, Stoney Cooley, followed by number 18, Gavin Brooks, and then number 4, Colby Clinkscales in that 3-hole hitter. The rest of the Indian lineup, cleanup, number 16, Reed Holbrook, followed by the 5-hole hitter, number 12, Easton Alexander, number 15, the pitcher for this evening, Tucker Deal, in that 6th spot. Brady Wallace taking over the DH duties in that 7-hole, number 9, Jake Watson batting 8th, and then rounding out the Indian lineup is number 10, Canton Golson. Stony Cooley takes a few practice swings, loosens up the shoulders, takes a deep breath, readjusts the batting gloves. You got to get everything right before you step into that plate, into the box. Cooley is ready, and so is Alexander for Merkel. Delivers a first pitch just outside the zone. Starting off the at-bat, throwing away from Cooley. Let's see what he decides to deliver on pitch 2. That one a little above the zone. Cooley quickly ahead, 2-0. Alexander delivers. This time it's called a strike. Evidently catching the top part of that plate. Two-one. On the way right down the middle. Cooley takes a hack at it. Let's see if they can get there. They do. That is Jason Alunzi out in right field, recording the first out of the inning for the Badgers. That brings up number 18, Gavin Brooks. Batting lefty. First offering got away from Alexander. And Prieto unable to catch that one in his glove, so we'll start off the count 1-0. Next offering grazes the dirt right before it hits the catcher's glove. Back-to-back batters starting off with a 2-0 count. That one Brooks watches all the way in. Want to make Alexander find the zone before he swings at anything. Yep, that's that breaking ball that's gotten away from Alexander at least twice now. Ending up well outside the zone. Hitter's count right here. Run. Brooks watches it. Kind of a little nod at the head at the end. He knew that was a strike, but not the pitch he was looking for. 3-2 inside. Oh my goodness, called a strike 3 by the umpire. Goodness, Brooks had already thrown his bat toward the dugout, and I would have done the same thing. That one just a bit inside, nearly hit Brooks, but the umpire saw it differently, and that's all that matters. 2 outs now for Jim Ned. And number 4, Colby Clinkscales digs in, trying to be the first base runner of the evening for Jim Ned. Breaking ball again, breaking a little too late for Alexander. 1-0 the count. Next offering, Colby squares that one up well. The center fielder going back, and it is above his head. That's blue ball. Did not track it well off the bat. And Colby, my goodness, just turned on that one, squared it up directly to center field, and that's a stand-up double for the shortstop. You're hoping the Indians in the dugout took notes on that at-bat there from Clinkscales. Not chasing outside the zone and then squaring up the very first pitch he got, nearly right down the middle. Let's see if Holbrook can poke anything through the infield to send the speedy Clinkscales all the way home. First offering, a strike. Right down the middle. Clinkscales with the big lead out there at second. He knows he's scoring on anything. And this hit is to center field, but it is caught by blue ball after misreading that last hit from Clinkscales. He gets a good jump on the little blooper from Holbrook and hauls it in to Strand Clinkscales at second. So Jim Ned matches Merkel with 1 hit, but still no runs to show. We'll be right back with a little more Jim Ned baseball after this.
Sendero Properties, connecting buyers and sellers in Jim Ned and all throughout the big country. Our property specializations include residential homes, such as primary homes, luxury homes, vacation homes, and investment properties. We also specialize in farming and ranch land.
Sendero Properties, the path to real estate.
Each team with 1 hit so far in this one, as Deal delivers the first pitch of the second inning. A grounder up the middle just below the glove of Watson over there at second. So first pitch Singh, first pitch swinging is Payson Prieto, the 5-hole hitter for Merkel. 1 pitch, 1 base runner for the Badgers. That brings to the plate number 6, Caden Blueball, ending the Indians' chance at plating a run last inning with that sliding catch in center field. First offering from Deal, a heater in the zone for a called strike. Oh, one nice breaking ball right there. Landed right on the inside of the zone. That one certainly caught Blue Ball off guard. Deal quickly ahead, 0-2. Next pitch, a heater again near the zone, but the umpire deciding not to call that one. 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss. That's a strikeout for Tucker Deal. As Blue Ball walks back to the dugout. That brings up number 8, Jason Alunzi. He gets the signs from his head coach over there at third. Steps into the box. Squares up to bump, pulls back just in time. Cooley didn't like that lead that Prieto had over there at first, threw down to Holbrook, but off the bag as Prieto slides in safely. Winnow pitch in on the hands, and that one up the middle as well. So so 2 hits this inning for Merkel, each of them towards the middle. That one, no chance for the middle infielders for Jim Ned to get to that one. Great job by Brooks hustling in and keeping that in shallow center field. So now with 2 runners on, just 1 out. Got number 14, Levi Gorman, at the plate for Merkel. First pitch finds the zone. Tucker Deal, great job painting the corners and finding that box so far. Not too many balls thrown by the righty yet. That next one, a little inside, brings the count to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Next pitch catches that corner. Called a strike. 1-2 on the way now. Goes back to that breaking ball. And what a catch by Reed Holbrook. Are you kidding me? My goodness. How about that to end the inning? Gorman with a little chop shot down to first. Holbrook dived to make the catch and then basically already laying on first base. So call that an unassisted double play for the first baseman for Jim Ned, and he alleviates any sort of run that the Badgers could have scored right there. So great heads-up defensive play, and just like that, Jim Ned's back in the dugout. Stick with us here on Jim Ned Sports Nation. Hopefully we'll bring you a couple of hits, a couple of runs here in the bottom of the second.
It's more than a piece of land. It's a place where you create memories and leave a legacy. It sounds like a dream, but at Capital Farm Credit, we'll help you make it a reality. As the most experienced rural lender in Texas and a cooperative, we're with you every step of the way. Your goals are our goals, because no matter what your dream might be, we're all in this together. And together, we're better.
With community ties and an eye on the future, Texas National is not your ordinary bank. Come find out what it means to bank locally in the heart of Tuscola with all the services of a big bank, but with that small town feel. At Texas National Bank, we take great pride in our customer service by providing both the technology you need and the service you deserve and expect. So next time you feel like your big corporate bank has outgrown you, look to Texas National, a true community bank.
Between the kids' stuff, being on the road, working at my ranch, I don't always have time to focus on everyday tasks like banking. That's why I rely on the First Financial Bank mobile app. I can pull out my phone anytime, anywhere, and handle my banking business in seconds. And if I need to talk to someone, a friendly, helpful voice is only a phone call away. Take your time back with First Financial Bank's mobile banking. First Financial Bank, member FDIC.
Number 12, Easton Alexander watches the first pitch go by for a ball. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Jim Ned this inning. Alexander followed by Tucker Deal, and then number 7, the 7-hole hitter Brady Wallace. One and one the count to the Jim Ned lefty. Yeah, thus far Alexander's not been able to find the zone with that breaking ball. He sure is trying. I expect him to continue to throw it until he's able to command it well. That one finds a zone, and my goodness, Easton Alexander squares that one up well. Another shot up the middle to blue ball. That's a single for the Indians. We've had 5 hits total in this game, 3 for Merkel, 2 for Jim Ned. 4 of those have been right back up the middle. The last 4, I should say. First hit of the game went just under Klinkskill's glove over there between shortstop and third base in the top of the first, and the last 4 have gone in between the middle infielders for both teams. Next offering by Alexander is a strike. So is that next pitch. Tucker Deal, the Jim Ned pitcher this evening at the plate. Alexander steps off the mound, and so does Deal. Now he's going to call time. Alexander concerned with Alexander over there at first. So Jim Ned's got Easton Alexander on first base, and Merkel's throwing Trey Alexander on the bump. And speaking of Trey, throws a wild pitch there. And Easton is able to advance to second. So the best opportunity for Jim Ned so far in this one, runner on second with no outs. 1-2 the count to Deal. Delivery misses the top part of the zone. We'll try the 2-2 now. Heater down and in. Deal takes a whack at it. Gets a little bit underneath it and fouls that one off. We'll try the 2-2 again. That one again in on the hands and hits the light pole just outside of the fence past the the Badgers dugout. So Deal doing well to battle at the plate, protect the zone. Next pitch, almost identical and almost an identical result. Whack at it for Deal, gets underneath it and catches the net. Alexander, the sizable lead over there at second. Next pitch, a breaking ball he takes for a ball. Great eye right there. Alexander trying to throw a different look at him. We'll see what he dials up for this 3-2 pitch. Here it comes, a little low, great eye right there from Tucker Deal. He knows the strike zone just about as good as anyone this evening. So he jogs on down to first, and now Jim Ned with runners at first and second. That brings up number 22, Brady Wallace, the DH for Jim Ned. And that's now number 14, I believe, Garrison Black over there at first, and to run for Tucker Deal.
Courtesy running for the pitcher, number 14, Garrison Black.
Wallace takes the first pitch for a ball. Alexander sets and delivers above the zone again, so great job by Wallace, keeping his bat on his shoulders for those two pitches outside the zone. We'll see if Wallace is able to square up something good here with the 2-0 count. Jim Ned looking for their third hit of the evening. Here comes the pitch, again taken by Wallace. This one finds the zone though. Stay with a 2-1 count now. Well outside the zone, and Jim Ned's in business. 3-1 count. Runners on first and second. No runs so far in this one. Still a 0-0 ball game. And this one outside again, so another walk for Alexander, and Jim Ned has the bases loaded. That's going to cause Prieto, the catcher for Merkel, to Jog out there to the mine, check on his pitcher. Giving plenty of time for number 9, Jake Watson, to get settled at the plate. The Badgers in at the corners. No outs, bases loaded for Jim Ned in the bottom of the second inning. Number 9, Jake Watson at the plate. Got Alexander at third. Pinch runner at second base. Garrison Black. And then Brady Wallace down there at first. First pitch to Watson is a ball. We'll see what Alexander decides to throw on this 1-0 pitch. Heater right down the middle. Watson making him work. See if he can throw that again. One and one outside. Man, Jim Ned demonstrating a lot of discipline at the plate so far this evening. They're not chasing. They're keeping their eye on the ball. They're not going golfing. They're not going above the zone either. It's been a great work of hitting at the plate so far for Jim Ned. 2-1 taken. Tell you that top of the outside corner on righties. It's being called a strike. Counts even now at 2-2. Alexander winds, delivers outside. So another 3-2 count. That's several of them already this game. Jim Ned's been able to work, like I mentioned, just the discipline at the plate, allowing them to get deep into counts. Try to wear out Alexander's arm early. Let's see what Watson decides to do here on this 3-2 pitch. Swung on and hit. That's going to drop in between left and center field. Here comes 1 run. Here comes 2 runs for the Indians. Wallace sliding in safely at third. And how about that? A 2 RBI double for Jake Watson. Jim Ned now on top, 2-0. Man, you could not have scripted that better. He squared up that ball well. No chance for the left or center fielder for the Badgers. And right off the bat, Alexander and Black taken off and plating those runs. Great heads-up base running by Wallace, too, making it all the way from first to third on a little one-hopper to the outfield. So still no outs for Jim Ned. Number 10, Canton Golson, watches the first pitch for a ball. Golson rounds out the Indian lineup. After him will be the leadoff hitter, number 1, Stoney Cooley. We'll see if we can keep this rally going. Golson watches that next pitch as well. Tell you, it's hard to lay off those close to the zone, but Jim Ned has done well to wait for the right pitches so far tonight. 2-0 swung on a chopper to the shortstop. Delgado picks it nicely and throws it across the diamond for out number 1. And that's why you play in when you're the Badgers, trying to make sure you keep everything in front of you and shorten your line to the ball so there's no chance for a runner to the third to score. Runners, of course, stay put. Wallace still at third and Watson at second base. 1 out, and now Stoney Cooley with his second at-bat of the evening. There's that off-speed pitch finding the zone for Alexander. That one drops in for a called strike. Next pitch swinging right back up the middle, and this could score too as well. Wallace comes, and they're going to hold Watson over there at third, and wisely so. Great job by Coach Estrada keeping his eye on the ball, and blue ball all the way from center field. Made a nice throw to the catcher. And so Stoney Cooley ends up with a stand-up double. 1 RBI for him, and now your Indians lead 3-0. That brings up number 18, Gavin Brooks, who watches the first pitch low.
Courtesy runner for the catcher, number 8, Jason Tolbert.
Jason Tolbert in as a courtesy runner for Stoney Cooley, the catcher, over there at second. Brooks caught a little off guard by that off-speed pitch, swinging right through that one. 1-1 the count. Jim Ned still with just 1 out in this inning. Alexander misses away. Next pitch in on the hands for a ball. Brings the count to 3-1. Brooks takes a hack at that one, fouling it back to the fencing. Brooks swinging at the next pitch as well. This one well out of play. Brooks squares up the next one. This one a high fly ball into center field. Blue ball is under it, and tagging is Watson. He comes all the way in to score. A little sac fly there from Brooks. Great job. Jim Ned on top. Now 4-0. Colby Clinkscales digs in at the plate, his second at-bat of the evening. He takes that first pitch for a called strike on the outside corner. Clinkscales committed to play at Ranger College after this season. Be a great addition for that ball club. Squares up the next pitch. This one deep into center field, much like his first one of the evening. This one, though, blue ball gets underneath it, but not before Jim Ned plates 4 runs. And the man who's responsible for three of those runs is Jake Watson. He had a 2 RBI double and scored 1 run there on that last sac fly by Gavin Brooks. Stoney Cooley also with 1 RBI on his stand-up double. So Jim Ned with 4 runs in the inning off of 3 hits. They lead the Badgers 4-0 as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. We'll be right back with some more Jim Ned baseball after this.
It's more than a piece of land. It's a place where you create memories and leave a legacy. It sounds like a dream, but at Capital Farm Credit, we'll help you make it a reality. As the most experienced rural lender in Texas and a cooperative, we're with you every step of the way. Your goals are our goals, because no matter what your dream might be, we're all in this together, and together, we're better.
The Jim Ned Education Foundation is a 501 nonprofit organization supporting innovative educational projects and activities that are beyond traditional funding. Foundation funds will be used for educational enrichment programs, such as innovative grants and programs to enhance student achievement, and to recognize exemplary staff involvement. We gratefully accept donations from individuals, families, companies, and other entities to support our Jim Ned CISD teachers and students. All dollars stay local and are disseminated annually to teachers in the district.
When you call Hall Mortgage, the experience you can expect to get from us here is first-class customer service. That's what we pride ourselves on, is customer service. From the time that the girls answer the phone to the time the guys are dispatched to your home, But the most important thing that I feel that sets us apart from everybody else also is our integrity. You know, we're not someone who's going to go over there and, you know, try to sell you something.
The Jim Ned Education Foundation is a 501 non.
When you call Holler, the experience you can expect to get from us here is
Welcome back to the top of the third inning. Tucker Deal with 2 straight strikes ahead in the count. 0-2 to the 9-hole hitter, Rayson Houston. Houston fights off that next offering to stay alive at the plate. Here comes another 0-2 pitch. Deal working quickly. And down goes Houston. I mean, Deal came out on fire, working quickly on the mound, throwing straight strikes, and Houston just could not keep up. Jim Ned sporting those nice pinstripe jerseys this evening. The white tops and bottoms with red piping, and that nice red JN cap to go with it. Next pitch from Deal misses. Back to the top of the lineup for the for the Badgers. Oh my goodness, I've been watching too much Major League Baseball. Number 15, Mason Prieto, swings at the next offering. One and one pitch falls right in the strike zone. My goodness, that's a hard pitch to track if you're the hitter. Great work by Deal. He sends a similar pitch, and that one gets knocked foul. So Deal wasting no time on the bump this inning, getting ahead of the batters. Shakes off that first suggestion from Cooley, agrees on the next. Here comes the 1-2, that one inside. Woo! I know that's probably scared Prieto. He had to kind of dodge out of the way of that one. 2-2 pitch slips out of Deal's hand, bounces in the dirt before it got all the way to Cooley. Brings the count full. And Deal is just going to throw it right down the middle to Prieto, see if he can keep up. Got a piece of that one, so we'll try the full count pitch once again. 1 out for the Badgers here in the top of the third inning. That one off speed, and goodness, Prieto had no chance. That one fooled him from the beginning. So that's 2 strikeouts for Deal. And now we'll see what the 2-hole hitter, number 4, Eli Delgado, can do for Merkel. See if he can get anything going. The Badgers with 3 hits, but those came early in the game. Next offering, swung on and hit. That one is going to be just foul down that left field line. Lots of foul territory here at the stadium in Tuscola. That one, thankfully, for the Indians, just a few inches left of that line. We'll try the 0-1 pitch now. That one just a short chopper back to Klingscales. He hurries in on it and is unable to get it out of his glove in time. But the speedster Delgado was there at first, so probably a wise move right there by Klingscales. Just keep it in his glove. Don't rush anything. You've got a 4-0 lead already with 2 outs as well in this inning. So number 12, Easton Malone, steps in for his second at-bat of the evening. Deal sets and delivers. Malone got just a piece of it to foul it back. Deal looks Delgado down and now steps off to make him slide back in safely to first. He'll check the runner once again before set. A little outside. Brings the count to 1-1. That one inside. Good job by Cooley keeping it in front and keeping Delgado over there at first. I mentioned Jim Ned's uniforms. Merkel's sporting the pinstripes on the pants with some gold and purple piping down the side. Purple tops with some gold piping and numbers and letters. Next offering outside as well. Seeing some nice stirrups from a couple of players here this evening. Gotta love the little old school look. 3-1 finds the zone. Deal finds himself in a 3-2 count. Here comes the pitch to Malone. This one outside, and Delgado taking off, of course, with a full count and 2 outs in the inning. So now the Badgers with runners at first and second, and their cleanup hitter, number 5, Trey Alexander, looking to get some revenge after giving up 4 runs last inning to the Indians. See if he can buy a few of those back for himself and Merkel. Alexander swings at the first pitch and sends this one high in the air, and Lewis trying to find it but loses it at the last second. That one kind of in an awkward spot where Lewis, Deal, and Cooley all rushing after it, giving it a try. But ultimately Lewis just barely overran it. So we'll do the 0-1 pitch now. Watson keeping Delgado busy over there at second. Off-speed pitch swinging is Alexander. This one shallow right field, and Watson takes care of it. Jim Ned strands 2 Merkel Badgers on the bases and maintains their 4-0 lead. See if they can add to it in the bottom of the third when we come back right after this.
Broken Diamond Wild Game Processing, located at 217 Garza Street in Tuscola, is a one-stop shop for all your processing needs, including specialty meats such as jalapeno cheese summer sausage, breakfast and Polish sausage, snack sticks, jerky, and much more. They even offer European mounts, hydro dipping, and full taxidermy. Contact them online and check them out on Facebook. That's Broken Diamond Processing, proudly serving our Jim Ned community.
Abilene Seamless Rain Gutter is a locally owned family business that specializes in installing made-to-fit seamless gutters and downspouts for your home and commercial property. With over 16 years of service in the Big Country, Abilene Seamless also provides commercial and residential gutter cleaning and repair. Contact them today at 325-676-4367. That's Abilene Seamless Gutters, proud Jim Ned alumni and supporters of Indian Nation.
Jim Ned hoping to add to that 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. And, I got to guess, if you're listening to this game, you're also interested in a little Major League Baseball, or I'm just going to assume. The Rangers right now tied with the Cubs in the top of the fifth, 2 outs, 3-3. Texas off to a hot start this season with an 8-3 record. The Cubs with 8 wins themselves, 5 losses, though, for Chicago. It's a great time of year. We just finished basketball season. We'll talk about how the brackets went here soon, but lots going on in the sports world. It's a great time to be a fan as Holbrook takes a first pitch strike from Alexander. Holbrook takes a chance at the next offering, and this one hitting off the top of the Badger dugout. So behind in the count, 0-2 now. Yeah, I don't know if it's a sensitive subject or not with the game ending last night. I don't know how your bracket went, but Florida took care of Houston 65-63 in the NCAA men's basketball championship game as Holbrook takes a ball. Me personally, I entered a bracket into 3 different groups. We got a family group, we got a work group, we got kind of a friend group, and I chose Florida to win. So happy to announce I won 2 of those 3 group brackets I put myself in. As Holbrook again watches a pitch in the dirt, evens up the count now at 2-2. I haven't been told what my prize is going to be yet, so I'm still kind of waiting on that one. Maybe I'll update you guys next game. But Holbrook watches that next pitch for called strike 3. A little upset at himself as he walks off. Mark that down as a strikeout looking for Alexander. Then, of course, you got the women's Final Four in Tampa. UConn taking care of South Carolina 82-59 on Sunday afternoon. A pretty big beating for Gino Ariema and the Huskies. First pitch swinging is Easton Alexander. Barely tips it. So he'll be down in the count now, 0-1. Next pitch swung on and hit shallow left center field, and a diving catch by Blue Ball. Man, he's been busy out there for the Badgers this evening, showing off some leather. And that's 2 up, 2 down for Jim Ned. For those invested in my bracket well-being, I did pick South Carolina to win, so I'm too afraid to look at my women's bracket's final standings because I'm afraid I did not end up in that first place spot. Next offering from Alexander is a ball. Pitch number 2 is a called strike, though. So Tucker Deal awaits the third pitch of the at-bat. There's that breaking ball from Alexander. He's found it a couple of times. Plops in there in the zone. 1-2 pitch. Taken by Deal. And he watches the next one to bring the count full. Great eye by Deal. He walks on that one, and Alexander not super pleased with that ball 4 call. And neither is the Merkel head coach, just asking for a little bit of clarification from the home plate umpire. Wish I could tell you what he said, but my guess is it was a little outside. And number 14, Garrison Black, making his way back on the bases. Courtesy runner for the pitcher, Tucker Deal. So Jim Ned not going away just yet here in the bottom of the third. 2 outs, a runner on first base. And that first pitch to Brady Wallace is in the dirt. 1-0 again in the dirt, so 3 straight balls from Alexander. Wallace scored a run for the Indians back in the bottom of the second. He takes a called strike. Swinging at the next pitch. This one again to center field. Blue ball tracking it and back. That's probably the deepest one hit so far this evening. Blue ball catches that one and retires Jim Ned. No hits, no runs for the Indians in the bottom of the third. To the top of the fourth we go. We'll be right back after this.
Since 1951, Taylor Telecom has been enhancing our members' lives with convenience, connection, and care by offering the best telecommunication services in West Central Texas. And this long tradition of excellence continues today as we now provide the best internet, phone, and TV services possible to our members in the Jim Ned community and the surrounding big country. It's our sincere mission and privilege to provide these services that continue to enhance your family's life. Taylor Telecom, keeping your life connected.
The lights are on and the sun is getting ready to set here in just a few minutes. Still great weather in Tuscola. About 70 degrees, dropped just a few degrees since that first pitch at 7. It's been all Jim Ned so far in this one, thanks to a 4-run second inning from the Indians. A couple of RBIs for Jake Watson and Stoney Cooley, and then Gavin Brooks also with an RBI sac fly. So those 3 guys responsible for the 4 runs so far. And we'll see if Tucker Deal can't continue to put the Badgers down. I mean, I'm telling you, I've said Dodgers several times this broadcast, and I do apologize. I'm not even a Dodgers fan, but I get so many alerts about them. Anyway, the Badgers await the first offering from Deal. That one in the dirt, but it did appear that perhaps number 3, Payson Prieto, swung at it, or at least offered enough to be called a strike. So that's what happened. 0-1 now. Deal delivers a ball, that one getting just underneath Cooley's glove. One in that similar spot, again called a ball. One pitch back in that same spot. So Deal trying to keep the ball low and away from Prieto. Prieto ahead in this one. 3-1. Sends a chopper down to third base. Lewis grabs it, throws it over the diamond. Holbrook reels it in for out number 1. Man, you sure appreciate a tall first baseman like Reed Holbrook over there. Guy that can stretch, guy that can jump up, reach. Not many balls get past him over there at first, and that's exactly why he also is going to play at Ranger College along with Colby Clinkscales. And then you've also got left fielder Canton Golson continuing his playing career after high school. He's going to suit up for Arlington Baptist University. Deal works it to a 1-1 count. Caden Blueball takes a little offering at the next pitch, and that one lands on the stands. Could hear some people saying heads up, and then we still got people caught off guard and screaming. No one hurt though. Deal shakes off the first few pitch options and then nods in agreement with Cooling for the 1-1 pitch. High and inside. Deal really liking that heater. That was a 2-2 pitch. Drops right in on the zone. And Caden Blueball goes down looking. So now 2 outs for Jim Ned. First pitch swinging is Jason Alonzi, the right fielder for the Badgers. Not getting too much action in the field tonight. Trying to make a difference at the plate for Merkel. Swung on and missed that next pitch as well. We'll see if Deal can't sit him down on 3 straight pitches. And he does just that. Back-to-back strikeouts looking for the Badgers. And I tell you what, Tucker Deal is in his bag right now. Giving up just 4 hits on the night, no runs. Jim Ned takes that 4-0 lead into the bottom of the 4th. Thanks for sticking with us here on Jim Ned Sports Nation. We'll bring a little bit more Indian baseball after this.
Abilene Environmental Landfill is a company dedicated to ecological conservation and recycling, and the AEL Green Team takes great pride in providing residential trash service to the Texas Big Country area. Call today at 325-777-0811 for a free estimate for weekly residential waste pickup, or go online at aelandfill.com. That's AEL. We make cleanup easy.
At Syca Industrial Sales, our goal is to provide our customers with high-quality materials for an excellent price while providing one-of-a-kind customer service. Founded on Christian principles, we are an industrial supply company striving to meet the growing demand for a reliable service that provides industrial, pipeline, and safety equipment to the city of Abilene and the surrounding areas. Just off of South Treadway in Abilene. Contact us online at sycasales.com or give us a call at 325-437-7452. That's Syca Industrial Sales. Roll Tribe.
Your Jim Ned Indians on top 4-0. Heading into the bottom of the 4th inning. And number 9, Jake Watson, the second baseman, will lead things off for Jim Ned. You know, as soon as we went to the commercial break, I thought to myself, you know, what they teach you in college, I was a journalism major, is to know your audience. And in case some are unaware of what it means when someone is in his bag, as I said before I ended the inning, it just means somebody that's in their groove. You know, they got the mojo, they're playing well, they're playing right, and that's exactly how I would describe Tucker Deal right now for the Jim Ned Indians. So, you know, just wanted to clarify myself, want to make sense out there to all the listeners. So if you didn't know what that meant, you're welcome. You can use that. We get lots of brownie points with the younger generation. So next pitch swinging is number 9, Jake Watson. He hits a shallow fly ball out there to the center fielder, Blueball, who is had the most action out of anybody on both teams this evening, and he makes a nice diving catch out there in center field. Wasn't sure at first if he actually ended up with it, but the umpires declared that an out. He kept it in his glove. First pitch swinging is Golson. This one a grounder over there to shortstop, and he ran that out. Was a bit of a low throw also from Delgado. Gorman unable to pick it. Even if he did, though, Golson will pass the bag. So Jim Ned begins the bottom of the fourth with a fly out and then an infield single. Back to the top we go. Stoney Cooley with an RBI double, his last plate appearance. Takes the first pitch for a ball. As you can see on our broadcast, we've got the train coming by. Always making an appearance, it seems like, in these evening games. Part of small town living. Gotta love it. 1-0 pitch outside again. Coach Estrada giving out some signals to his batter and base runner right now. See if the Indians want to drop any sort of hit and run. And off goes Golson for an easy stolen base off that wild pitch there from Alexander. Trey Alexander has had a few wild pitches tonight. That one, though, the most costly, as the others occurred with no runners on base. So the Indians able to take advantage and advance a bit closer to the plate. Stoney Cooley with that 3-0 count probably has the red light. And he did, and he took. So we'll try the 3-1 now. Jim Ned with 5 hits and 4 runs to show for it this evening. Merkel with 4 hits of their own, but unable to plate any runs so far. Stoney turns on an inside pitch, a high fly ball to left field. Houston gets underneath it for out number 2, as Golson remains at second. That brings up number 18, Gavin Brooks, the center fielder for Jim Ned. Brooks with an RBI sac fly, his last appearance at the plate. Outside from Alexander. Brooks takes that next one for a called strike. 2 outs, 1 runner on second for Jim Ned. One and one pitch off speed. Brooks reads it well. That one goes in between the first and second baseman, and Alonzi out there in right field bobbles it, but Coach Estrada was sending Golson all the way, and he touches home plate well in front of the run. So an RBI single for Gavin Brooks, and now Jim Ned's on top 5-0. A little bit of celebrating going on for the Indians in their dugout, enjoying this 5-0 lead. We'll see if Colby Clinkscales can get a piece of it. On the first pitch, Gavin Brooks takes off and slides in safely. That throw from Prieto caused Delgado to go up into the air. No chance to get Brooks. Runner in scoring position now for Clinkscales. Clinkscales takes the next pitch for a ball. He's had 2 great power hits to center field tonight for Colby. And Clink Scales is going to step out as Pietro calls for time. As I mentioned, Clink Scales squared up 2 great balls this evening. One went over the head of the center fielder for a stand-up double. That next one, blue ball, the center fielder was able to get underneath it, but it was a loud, long out. We'll see if Colby can't find a gap here and score another run for Jim Ned. Off speed for Alexander. Man, he is not going away from that pitch. He's missed with it more times than he's hit with it, but staying loyal to his repertoire. One, two on the way. Pietro set up outside, so that one intended to try to get Clink Scales to chase. He gets a piece of it to stay alive at the plate. That next pitch inside, Clink Scales getting out of the way and allowing number 18, Gavin Brooks, to advance. So stolen base for Brooks got him from first to second, and then that wild pitch got him at third now. So not too far away is Brooks. Clink Scales swings. He's going to have to try to run this one out. Delgado picks it and throws it over to first base, but Gorman is unable to scoop that one up, and Clink Scales wisely advances all the way to second. Jim Ned plates another run, now leading 6-0. Delgado rushed that throw just a bit, but Clink Scales was hustling down the line, so certainly had something to do with the bad throw there from Delgado. So now Holbrook himself has a chance to get an RBI. This would be Holbrook's first RBI of the evening. Alexander starts him with a little off speed. Drops into the bottom part of the plate for a called strike. Anything through the infield, you got to think Clink Scales can score on it, especially with that big lead over there at second. Wisely taking the next pitch in the dirt. One and one the count. Holbrook liked that outside pitch. Got a piece of it off the end of the bat. One-two pitch in the dirt, and Clink Scales, man, great base awareness right there from number 4. As soon as that one got an inch away from the catcher, he was taken off to get himself in better scoring position. So certainly anything through the infield and on the ground will score Colby from third. Here comes the next pitch to Holbrook. This one a chopper to shortstop. Let's see if Delgado can handle this one. This one a bit low, and Holbrook beats it out. How about that? Big strides over there all the way down the first baseline, and Delgado sent a one-hopper over there to Gorman. He is able to pick it, but not in enough time to get Holbrook. And that is Jim Ned's 7th run of the game, their third this inning. And it looks like the Merkel head coach is going to walk out, talk things over with the umpire who made that call. You know, it was pretty close at the plate. At first base. So he's asking him to speak with the home plate umpire to see if he saw anything different. Can't blame the coach. Trying to get his guys out of this inning with 2 outs. We'll see what they come up with. Always interesting to hear and to kind of watch this go down to see if the home plate umpire even had a well enough view, and nothing to overturn it according to him, and Holbrook's going to remain safe over there at first. So Jim Ned continues the inning. 8 hits and 7 runs for Jim Ned. Still holding Merkel scoreless, a little reminiscent of last night's game where Jim Ned won 9-0. Number 12, Easton Alexander, steps in and watches a first pitch strike. That last at bat with Holbrook is a great example of why heads-up base running is so important. You know, had Clinkscales not have taken off and stolen third a few pitches before, he would be at third right now instead of being that 7th run for Jim Ned this evening. So great job by the Ranger College commit to get himself closer and give his team another run. Little wild pitch there from Alexander sends Holbrook all the way to second. We'll try the 1-1 now to Alexander. Watches that one low. Next pitch, a called strike. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Next offering from Alexander, swung on and hit foul. And Alexander watches an inside strike. He goes down looking. Jim Ned adds 3 more runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Your Indians on top 7-0 against the Merkel Badgers. Stick with us for a little bit more Indian baseball after this.
Tribe Automotive at 633 Kent Avenue, Tuscola is a one-stop shop for all your auto needs. From general maintenance to engine and electrical repair, experienced auto technician Wesley Espinoza will keep you safe and on the road. Schedule an appointment today at 325-554-9454. Tribe Automotive, local supporter of Jim Ned Athletics.
BATS Communications proudly provides telecommunications, IT networking, and security solutions. From dial tone and fully hosted phone systems to full IT outsourcing and infrastructure data cabling, BATS strives to become part of your team with local service and support. Locally owned and operated by Jim Ned Valley residents Ron and Yvonne Batts and Jim Ned alumni Jacob Button. Let BATS Communications work for you. Go Big Red.
Hi, this is John Button, owner of Button Roofing Company and a product of the Jim Ned Valley. I'm so proud of our community values and the success of our students inside and outside the classroom. Please let us know if we can assist you with any roofing needs, whether it's commercial or residential. We would also like to thank all of our Jim Ned Valley neighbors who allowed us to be their roofer of choice this year. You can find us at buttonroofing.com or give me a call at 325-280-3215.
Jim Ned well in control of this one this evening. They lead the Merkel Badgers 7-0, and it's kind of been a group effort for the Indians at the plate. Stoney Cooley with an RBI double, Gavin Brooks with an RBI sac fly, and then an RBI single, his most recent at-bat. Colby Clinkscales with an RBI single, and then Jake Watson with a 2 RBI double. So the Indians sharing the love at the plate and doing well on the field as well. Led by Tucker Deal, the pitcher for Jim Ned. Giving up just 4 hits, and I believe those all came in the first 2 innings of this matchup. That's number 14, Levi Gorman, at the plate. Took a first pitch ball and then swung pretty hard at that next pitch inside. Evens up the count at 1-1. Off speed from Deal, swung on and hit off the end of the bat. Watson underneath it, just on the grass, right behind the dirt at second second base for the first out of the inning. That brings up the 9-hole hitter for the Badgers, number 7, Rayson Houston. Houston holding down the left field duties for the Badgers tonight. Watches the first pitch for a ball. Jim Ned 15-3 overall so far this season, a great record for the Indians. Called strike on that next pitch. 6-1 in district play, their only loss to Sweetwater. The Wall Hawks sit atop the district standings with a 9-0 record, as that next pitch is swung on and missed. Brings the count to 1-2. Deal with a heater in the dirt. We'll try the 2-2 count now. See you later. Right down the middle, a heater from Deal. Sends Houston walking back to the dugout. That's another strikeout for the man on the bump for Jim Ned this evening. And back to the top of the lineup we go. It's number 15, Mason Prieto. Deal wasting no time. First pitch breaks a little late, not catching that top part of the zone quite. As I mentioned, Jim Ned 6-1 in district. They're at third place right now in that district 6-3A standing. Clyde with that second place spot, as the next one's a chopper, and Clinkscales throws it pretty tough across the first base, across the diamond. Holbrook, great stretch, but not in enough time to get Prieto. Toya Clinkscales did all he could do on that one. That little slow chopper gets even slower in the grass, where Clinkscales had to pick it up, and great sidearm, great body control on that throw. But leadoff man Prieto's got a little bit of speed to him. So now Merkel with the runner on first with 2 outs. First pitch to Delgado is a ball. As I was mentioning, Clyde is also 6-1 in district play, but they've beaten Sweetwater twice, so technically have the tiebreaker over Jim Ned right now. That's got the Indians in the 3rd spot. Big swing and a miss right there from Delgado. Tucker evens at the count at 1-1. Based on the standings that I've got, you've got 3 kind of powerhouse programs at the top of the district 3A standings, Wall, Jim Ned, and Clyde. And you've kind of got your bottom half of the district there, Sweetwater, Merkel, Grape Creek, and TLCA. Chasing is Delgado. Doesn't get a piece of it. So the count is now 1-2. Off speed, swung on, popped right next to the catcher. Stoney Cooley reels that one in and sends the Badgers down again. With no runs, they strand one at first base, but Jim Ned looking to add to their 7-0 lead. It's been all Jim Ned all evening. Let's see if the offense can't continue to perform for the Indians.
You know, I'm a person too.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
Pitching change for the Badgers here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's going to be Payson Prieto now on the bump, as Alexander is going to take his spot in the field at second base. So the first time seeing Prieto on the bump tonight. I believe that is going to be Tucker Deal at the plate. Takes the first pitch for a ball. The Badgers a little deflated out there on the field. They have not scored a run yet this evening. The next pitch swung on and hit. That one gets through the infield just past the glove of Alexander, taking up his new spot now at second base. So Tucker Deal with the leadoff single. And we're going to have, I believe that is Garrison Black come in as a courtesy runner for the Indian pitcher.
14, Garrison Black.
Brady Wallace digs in at the plate, but not before Prieto steps off the mound to make sure Black stays close over there at first. So now Wallace will see the first pitch from Prieto, and he takes it for a strike. The ump tonight, given that outside corner against right-handed hitters, that one slipped out of the hand of Prieto. just over the head of Wallace, able to kind of duck out of the way of that one. We'll try the 1-1. Again, a bit inside. Wallace not scared of it at all. Runner at first for the Indians, who lead Merkel 7-0. No outs in the bottom of the 5th. Off-speed pitch. Wallace a little ahead of it. Evens at the count at 2-2. He looks over to Coach Estrada down that third baseline. It gives him a nod of encouragement. The next pitch, little breaking ball. Nicks Wallace on the shoulder, takes it like a champ. That one won't hurt too bad. A little off speed. That brings to the plate number 9, Jake Watson, the 8-hole hitter. Holding down the duties at second base for the Indians. Had a great game so far for Jim Ned at the plate. Responsible for at least 3 runs for the Indians. My stats are unofficial, but I've got him down for at least 3. Had a 2 RBI double earlier in the game and then scored a run. Watson shows bunt but pulls back just before the pitch to take a strike. Coach Estrada wheeling and dealing some signs down there to his base runners. Let's see what he draws up for this next pitch. Watson again squares around a bunt but pulls back. And Watson thought it was a little bit too high to try to lay down a bunt, and Estrada kind of waves him off. He says it's all right. Now just focus on getting hit. Of course, you don't want to try to bunt with 2 strikes. 0-2 outside. Watson wisely takes. He's going to stay in the box as Prieto nods in agreement for the next pitch. Off speed, just a bit high. Now the battery for the Badgers is Payson Prieto on the bump. And then we got Mason Prieto behind the plate. Another off-speed pitch. Lots of movement there. Looks pretty good from Payson. Watson able to get just a bit of it off the tip of his bat. We'll try the 2-2 now. Runners on first and second for the Indians. Off speed again. This time Watson eyes it well, but it's just foul down that left field line. That would have been a nice one had it have dropped in play. Two again, a fastball. You don't want to do that to Watson. He sends that one sharp down the left field line, and we're going to send Black all the way, and he stands up at the plate. Run number 8 for Jim Ned, and another hit and an RBI for Jake Watson. This one, a 1 RBI single. Watson finds himself at second now, and Watson finds himself at first now, and Wallace moves himself to second. So your Indians up 8-0, no outs. Number 10, Canton Golson, up at the plate. He's going to try to lay down a bunt, puts it into foul territory there. Now, perhaps what Coach Estrada is doing is trying to get those last 2 runs that the Indians need to end this one early. Of course, the rule in high school, if you're up by 10 runs after 5 innings, the game is over. Jim Ned just 2 runs away from that reality. No outs in the bottom of the 5th. This time he lays down the bunting. Man, Golson can run. He's getting down the line and doesn't quite beat it out. A little bit of a delayed call from the umpire. I think he got it right, though. Golson sprinted down the line, was just behind that throw, though. He did his job, moved the runners over. Now we've got number 1, Stoney Cooley, the leadoff batter, at the plate. Coach Estrada gives Golson a high five as he jogs off the field. Wallace now at third base for the Indians, and Watson over there at second. 1 out for Jim Ned. Stoney Cooley takes the first pitch for a called strike. Nice little breaking ball there from Prieto. Didn't take him long to get comfortable on the bump. Of course, this just his first inning of work. Came in for relief of the starting pitcher, Alexander, who gave up about 8 hits, I believe, and all 8 runs. Cooley watches the next offering as well. So he finds himself down in the count, 0-2. Another breaking ball from Prieto. This one lands a little bit too close to Cooley. Prieto sets and delivers a bit above the zone. Cooley's seen that off-speed pitch enough. I imagine he'll be able to square the next one up. Here comes the 2-2. That one inside. Swing and a miss from Cooley, who goes down on that inside pitch. And now it's up to number 18, Gavin Brooks, to try to bring those last 2 runs in for Jim Ned. A little bit of a different look for Prieto, with Brooks being a left-handed batter. Sends the first pitch away for a ball. 1-0 swung on and hit. That one right back to Gorman, though, at first base, and he scoops it up and steps on the bag. Jim Ned adds 1 more run. They lead 8-0 as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Thanks for sticking with us here on Jim Ned Sports Nation. We'll hit you with a few commercials and then be right back for more Indian baseball.
The Jim Ned Education Foundation is a 501 nonprofit organization supporting innovative educational projects and activities that are beyond traditional funding. Foundation funds will be used for educational enrichment programs, such as innovative grants and programs to enhance student achievement, and to recognize exemplary staff involvement. We gratefully accept donations from individuals, families, companies, and other entities to support our Jim Ned CISD teachers and students. All dollars stay local and are disseminated annually to teachers in the district.
Pitching change for the Indians as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Coach Estrada is going to move Reed Holbrook from first base to the mound. So Reed warming up right now, and that's going to put Tucker Deal out there in right field, and then move in Easton Alexander from right field to take over for Holbrook at first base. So the tall and lanky Holbrook warming up, as I mentioned earlier in our broadcast. Reed's going to play at Ranger College after his high school career wraps up. Lots of length, lots of power for number 16 on the mound. I tell you what, Jim Ned just showing out here tonight. Great defense, great discipline at the plate, putting the ball in play, finding gaps, being wise on the base paths, stealing bases, moving on wild pitches. Just they're doing it all tonight. It's a great showing for Jim Ned in front of the home crowd. For Merkel, it'll be the 3, 4, and 5 hole hitters, starting with number 12, Easton Malone, followed by number 5, Trey Alexander, and then number 3, Payson Prieto. Of course, their first look at Holbrook tonight. See how they approach the first couple of pitches. They're going to swing at the first one is Malone, and he hits it right to Watson over there at second base. 1 pitch, 1 out for Holbrook. Imagine Coach Estrada super pleased with that. Bringing in a reliever to try to close this thing out. Trey Alexander, who started pitching for the Badgers but was moved to second base last inning, up at the plate now for his third at bat. Takes the first pitch for a ball. (1-0), a bit low for the umpire's liking. Holbrook behind in the count, 2-0. Similar pitch, similar result, as Holbrook now has a 3-0 count. And 4 straight balls from Holbrook. A little disappointed in himself, but just his 5th pitch of the evening after moving over from first base. So Alexander's going to jog on down to first. That brings up Payson Prieto. The Badgers have left a few runners on base. I believe they've only had 1 runner past first base this entire evening. Of course, unable to advance him. (1-0) pitch, a little inside, swung on and fouled by Payson Prieto. Holbrook winds and delivers this one. Gets a piece of the back of Prieto. Didn't really act like it at first. Kind of had to have the home plate umpire call that one. Might have just grazed his jersey. So Merkel with runners at first and second. With 1 out, Holbrook able to get that 1 out on just 1 pitch, but since had a little bit of trouble finding the zone, and the Badgers taking advantage of it. Number 6, Caden Blueball at the plate now, and he watches first pitch for a ball. Fan here tonight encouraging Reed to get in a good rhythm. Just trying to find that strike zone, get comfortable out there on the mound, and do what he knows how to do, and that's throw strikes. Next pitch, though, off Cooley's glove again, and that's going to cause Coach Estrada to come out of the dugout as the Merkel base runners advance. Now got runners at second and third. We'll take a quick commercial break and be right back after this mound visit.
Broken Diamond Wild Game Processing, located at 217 Garza Street in Tuscola, is a one-stop shop for all your processing needs, including specialty meats such as jalapeno cheese summer sausage, breakfast and Polish sausage, snack sticks, jerky, and much more. They even offer European mounts, hydro dipping, and full taxidermy. Contact them online and check them out on Facebook. That's Broken Diamond Processing, proudly serving our Jim Ned community.
Pretty long chat for Coach Estrada, Reed Holbrook, and the catcher Stoney Cooley on the mound. Home plate umpire making his way out there to break it up. Most of the time you see head coaches wrap up the meeting just before the home plate umpire can get out there and get his nose in the conversation. But Coach Estrada allowing the home plate umpire to perhaps hear a few of the words that were said on the mound, just trying to get his pitcher back locked in. Holbrook delivers another ball. So 3-0 count now. We'll see if blue ball is taking or swinging. He takes right down the middle. The Badgers in the best position they've been in tonight to score a run. 2 straight strikes for Holbrook. And the next one is swung on and missed, and folks, that's all you ask for. You get the head coach out there and talk things over with your pitcher, and he goes a ball, strike, and a strike, and a strike for 2 outs to retire blue ball. Number 8, Jason Alunzi swings at the first pitch. I'll tell you, this number 8 for Merkel's pretty aggressive. He has not watched very many balls come by. And that's going to work in Holbrook's favor right now if he takes the same approach. 0-1 pitch, a bit high, near eye level for Alunzi. Same pitch right there from Holbrook. 2-1 the count. Inside pitch swung on and missed. Alunzi doing all he can to try to get that bat on the ball. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Here comes the offering from Holbrook, a little above the zone. Badgers with runners at second and third. Full count now, 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. Next pitch is taken by Jason Alunzi, and it is called a strike 3. So Holbrook, after a rough start to the inning, comes around and finishes off with back-to-back strikeouts to keep the score at 8-0. And back to the sticks the Indians go, just needing a few more runs to send everybody home early.
Since 1951, Taylor Telecom has been enhancing our members' lives with convenience, connection, and care by offering the best telecommunication services in West Central Texas. And this long tradition of excellence continues today as we now provide the best internet, phone, and TV services possible to our members in the Jim Ned community and the surrounding big country. It's our sincere mission and privilege to provide these services that continue to enhance your family's life. Taylor Telecom, keeping your life connected.
Abilene Broken Environmental Landfill is a company dedicated to ecological conservation and recycling, and the AEL Green Team takes great pride in providing residential trash service to the Texas Big Country area. Call today at 325-777-0811 for a free estimate for weekly residential waste pickup, or go online at aelandfill.com. That's AEL. We make cleanup easy.
Number 4, Colby Clinkscales leading things off for the Indians in the bottom of the 6th inning. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Colby with an RBI single his last trip to the plate. Tacking on a run for the Indians. Takes the next pitch for a ball. We'll try the 1-1 pitch now. That one slipping out of Prieto's hand. Well outside the zone. Clinkscales liked that 2-1 offering, fouled it back. Brings it to 2-2. Staying alive at the plate is Clinkscales. That foul landing just in front of the Indian dugout. Been pretty noisy over there, and rightfully so for the Indians. Lots of runs to show tonight. 2-2 off speed. Colby squares it up well. That's going to drop in between left and right field, and he's not stopping at first. He goes all the way to second. How about that? 2 doubles and a single on the night for Colby Clinkscales.
Ties the Jim Ned school record for career doubles with 30. Congratulations.
Reed Holbrook now at the plate for Jim Ned. Cleanup hitter for the Indians. First pitch, a called strike on that outside corner. Holbrook ended the top of the 6th inning with back-to-back strikeouts of the Badgers. And now takes back-to-back strikes from Prieto. Holbrook eyes that one just a bit inside. One and two swung on and missed, so Prieto making quick work of the other pitcher in the game right now. Holbrook walks on back to the dugout. And now we've got number 12, Easton Alexander, who started in right field tonight for the Indians, but after Holbrook moved to the mound, he took over Reed's spot there at first. Watches that first pitch inside for a ball. Digs back in. Big swing. Fouled off though. 1-1 the count. Next offering, sits and waits on it. Trouble for Gorman over there at first, and the umpire's going to call him out. Not so sure about that one. But, not surprised at all. Coach Estrada's going to ask about it. So hard chopper hit to Gorman, and it hit off of him, and Badgers were able to find the bag over there at first, but Estrada is going to ask for the field umpire to speak with the home plate umpire, and quick conversation. I'm guessing the home plate umpire wasn't looking because he called him out immediately. So bang play, but nonetheless Clinkscales stands at third base, 2 outs, and now number 17, Tucker Deal, at the plate. Prieto unable to find the zone on that first offering. Next pitch off of the glove of the catcher, and Clinkscales zooms in for the 9th run of the game for Jim Ned. So we've matched last night's score. Jim Ned defeating Merkel 9-0. We'll see if it'll be a repeat or if the Indians can tack on another run. Next pitch in the dirt for Prieto. The faithful Jim Ned Indian fans still filling up the stands as the next pitch is a called ball. So Deal will jog down to first base, and Wallace will get another at bat this afternoon. First offering outside to Wallace. Starts the count 1-0. Next pitch gets away from Prieto, and that puts Tucker Deal into scoring position. Hitters count 2-0 here for Wallace. See if he can't punch something through the gap. I guarantee you Coach Estrada probably try to send Deal. And to prepare for that, Coach Estrada is going to send in a pinch runner for Tucker Deal.
Pinch runner for Tucker, number 6, Jake Teichelman.
And not sure if you guys can hear our PA here, but that is number 6, Jake Teichelman, now standing there at second base. .30 pitch called a ball, so Brady Wallace jogs on down to first base, and we've got number 9, Jake Watson, now at the plate. That's going to warrant a mound visit from the Merkel head coach. We'll take a quick commercial break and be back after the mound visit.
At Syca Industrial Sales. Our goal is to provide our customers with high-quality materials for an excellent price while providing one-of-a-kind customer service. Founded on Christian principles, we are an industrial supply company striving to meet the growing demand for a reliable service that provides industrial, pipeline, and safety equipment to the city of Abilene and the surrounding areas. Just off the South Treadway in Abilene. Contact us online at sycasales.com or give us a call at 325-437-7452. That's Syca Industrial Sales. Roll Tribe.
Quick mound visit for the Merkel head coach. Trying to calm down his pitcher as he delivers his first pitch to number 9, Jake Watson. This one outside the zone as well. Watson sporting the stirrups and the nice Nike cleats. Got the swag going on. He likes that next pitch in on the hand, sends it foul. Next pitch outside as well. So the count now 2-1, 2 outs for Jim Ned. In the bottom of the 6th inning, runners on first and second. The Indians up 9-0 on the Badgers. Next pitch swinging is Watson. He gets that one down, and that's going to do it, folks. Coach is going to send the runner in all the way from second, and that is run number 10 for Jim Ned, and that is win number 16 for Jim Ned overall. Your Indians move to 7-1 in district play, of course, with that 10-run rule in effect. Jim Ned scoring 10 runs after 5 innings. That ends the game early, so we finished this one in 6. Your Indians showed up and showed out this evening with runs scored in just about every inning. Lots of players to mention here. I mean, first, of course, can't go without mentioning the starting pitcher tonight for Jim Ned, Tucker Deal. Pitched a shutout, and then Reed Holbrook came in relief. Hit the last few outs for Jim Ned, holding Merkel to 0 runs. And at the plate, the Indians delivered. It was Stoney Cooley, Gavin Brooks, Colby Clinkscales, and Jake Watson with a few RBIs and runs scored. Brady Wallace on base several times as well. And so it was just an overall great showing for the Indians tonight. And they proved why they've got such a great district record and why they're going to be a force to be reckoned with for the rest of district play. Thanks so much for joining me this evening. Again, your Jim Ned Indians defeating the Merkel Badgers 10-0 on this great Tuesday evening for some baseball. Jim Ned's back in action on Friday. Tune in to Jim Ned Sports Nation for that coverage. Until then, I'm Malone Graham signing off. Thanks so much for listening.